8 o'clock in the next morning. And that means we need to develop some rotation. And it's everything is technical, but we just try to avoid the situation where we pull out from another services the resources just to be in there. And
so how far away do you keep the ambulance? When you position it.
Ambulance is always in next to the command center.
Okay.
If the command center is safe place, time to times, it's okay. We have some evacuations of the centers too, because the wind direction and everything is so safe. And in one moment you feel that it's too much smoke in here, and how the fire in Estonia is, it's the same in the Canada, and why the fire is very quick, time to times. There is the ground, the grass. There are the trees. And now it start to come in here. But the temperature in here is basically like a sauna or chimney. And in one moment, the temperature is such a high that it start basically in the same second. Then can do the big jump, tens of meters. And then again, the higher level fire need to wait when it comes closer, and then the second jump. And this is time to times we need to really calculate and think about, and that caused the evacuation of the command center if the command center is in the wrong position. But the distances between let's say frontline and command center, I can't tell you how many meters, but it's always short safe distance, but time to time even 2 or 3 kilometers away. And mosquito repellent, it's the small element you always forget. And after the first forest fire, everybody has it in his or her pocket. Because they are idiots. So, and the ambulance service is extremely important. Yep.
And another question: do you place like AED equipment, in groups? Because you mentioned that some of the elderly are having heart attacks, and
no. No. Hey, you mean as a medics? That's the standard is ambulance car. Yes, okay, but we don't calculate in this case that somebody is dead in the forest. But it's always maybe it's easiest way. Just take the ambulance and the standard is in here. But in this case, this ambulance service or ambulance point or medics are for the rescuers, of course. And the main two things, one is the trauma. It's always somebody the leg or believe me or not, but the broken heads. Because if the container or truck coming and there is the mountain of the hoses, always somebody do like this without the helmet. Pull the hose and the coupling permanently. And then they need maybe go to the hospital or they just fix it in there. And the second thing is the dehydration if the people don't drink enough water. Then and overheating. Then they have some beds just for put the
IV.
Yeah, and keep them there and alive. And we always try to keep. But if you ask who will pay for that, then I don't know. Because if we are using the ambulance cars from the regular services, then it's paid by Ministry of Social. To them it's just alert, very static. They are sitting in the forest, eating our food and doing their job in there, without blue flashlights. But now if the Red Cross step in, maybe it will be that the Estonian Rescue Board start to pay. Yeah, but don't forget the medics. And again, the rotation. And then the medics is always, I think, the same in Iceland. In one day they are sitting in the ambulance car, next morning they go to the hospital. Be in there one day and 10 days off. And they are quite busy in here, in Estonia. But it depends how it's in there. And
can I ask you one question?
Yep.
Rotation of your manpower.
Mm-hmm.
8 hours on or less?
It's rocket science. It's really rocket science because professional firefighters know that everybody except us know better how many hours we can work.
Yeah.
And who will pay, who will not pay. it's endless problematic area. But in Estonia, the rotation, if you are talking about the fire brigades, it's always 24 hours.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about.
Yeah.
When we are
And
dealing with.
now you go to the forest.
Yeah.
For example, I start in Tallinn Fire Brigade 8 o'clock in the morning. I know that somewhere is burning the forest already the 4th day. And basically I know that my fire brigade is in there too. That means I will do the calculation that I go to there for 24 hours. But we always try to keep one shift not more than 12 hours outside. Then we start to rotate. If the situation is such bad that rotation is complicated or something is problematic in there, then we set up the base camp to the forest and people sleeping in there. That means next morning 8 o'clock, theoretically you go back to the fire brigade and you can get home. If you stay longer, then the bookkeeping department start to call. Is it necessary to be in forest or not? Because all the extra hours they have to pay as a double, I think, or 1.5. It's quite expensive to them at the end of the day. But it's really based on the situation because there is different options. Go back to the fire brigade or to the base camp. And could you imagine what's happened in Estonia when we changed the shift system and we had 2 dark years, we had 12 hours shift system. And basically you start to the forest, the fire in midday. After 3 hours you have to go back to because the shift in the night, and it was endless logistical planning. And the real works in the forest maybe took only 1 hour and it was done. So, yes, this year for us it's completely different. You see that the impact from the Ukraine changed everything in here in this country. And I think that due to the forest fires, we have no developments anymore in this year. Now everything is related to the preparation of the war, because we calculate really that we are the next ones, and we would like to see what's happened if finally Finland and Sweden will be the part of the NATO, because the big neighbor just must do something, and we now prepare for the really attacks. It seems the plan it's not secret that every firefighter should in Estonia the tactical protection, the bulletproof vest, and then the special helmet. Then the special first aid kits, special first aid trainings, and we set up more user units for the shoring if the constructions are broken. And I don't know exactly your plans, but you maybe have heard, Brandon have seen that we have today it was completely best concept, but now it's completely worse concept. The joint houses. Everybody is in the same building. 112, fire brigade, police, sitting as a happy family. One rocket, and all services are down.
We have better neighbors.
You have no neighbors.
Oh yes.
The Faroese.
Green one.
Yeah, this is the big one. Yeah, but really, and I'm sure, and yeah, it's now it's out of record. The NATO forces in here, and of course the Russia monitoring every day that they can produce some fake news or whatever. And